again, Ed here, and just wanted to say we're about to start our second tray of onions. We have a complete tray here. There's a couple here that I think we may replace, but otherwise we're going to start on our second tray. So first thing I want to do here is I want to note how some of these do have a lot of algae on the surface of the ground. And this is simply because there's so much nutrients in this worm castings that we have here that once we put it under the light, it's just going to be bursting with nutrients and growth, and the algae just starts to grow. So I just use something small like this here, and I just scrape that surface layer off. That algae is not hurting too much right now. We have had a couple of plants. Let me just show you here. Like this one right here. And I did see another one, this one right here. So what's happening with those? When the plant is really small and you get a lot of algae, the algae aggressively eats at the nutrients. And it literally steals the nutrients away from the plant that you're trying to grow. So in cases like that, lots of times the algae will win and the plant will die. So we may replace those couple. But at this point, I'm just going to take off some of this heavier algae that's on some of these. I'm just scraping this off and I'm going to put it in a paper towel and get rid of it. So we'll just clean this up a little bit here. And a lot of this is just going to come back again. But as the plant gets bigger, it's really not going to matter too much. It's when they're really young that I've noticed that it's had an effect on the plant. And I see the same thing in the hydroponic systems. We do get a bit of algae. And unfortunately, when we're dealing with small seeds, or any seeds, not just small ones, but any of the seeds, when the plant is very small, the algae can win out. And remember the lettuce that we planted a while ago? Well, I didn't keep an eye on those hardly as well as I should have, and I lost them to the algae. So we have some more lettuce seeds planted now, and hopefully I'm going to have more time to be able to pay attention to those a little bit more. So here we go. This is the last of our onion seeds, and as we can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 that are germinated, ready to go in soil someplace. So we'll put a couple of those over in this tray, and then we're going to start doing a second tray. Now, before we get our second tray out and start with the process of getting the soil on the go in that, I just want to get this one out of the way, and that'll just free up some space here in the cupboard. So I'm going to give these guys a haircut here first. This is the second haircut for what's in this tray. So most of these that I'm trimming off here now are quite good. You can use them in a salad or something. Very small, but they don't have to go to waste. And these have been coming up against the lid, against the bottom of the lid under the lights there. So I'm just trimming them down so that they have room to grow some more. And this trimming is something that we'll do, probably 8 or 10 times before these plants are ready to go out in the garden. Oh, what a beautiful strong smell of onion on there. Really nice. So we'll just take all these taller ones here. If you see any that have a little bit of weakness on them, maybe they're a little bit brown on top or something like that, just trim that part off. That's what onions are all about. They'll keep on growing. Like I said, these will get trimmed many times over the next couple months. And that, like I said, you can pick out the best of that and use that in a salad or something that's really nice, rich onion. Really good. See, this one here is a little bit yellow on top, so I'll snip that off. I'm leaving about 1.5 inches on most of these. And by snipping off this, it will also allow the plant to put its energy into developing better roots. So as we do this over the next couple of months, we're promoting the roots to grow stronger. So when they go in the garden, they're going to have a much better root system, and therefore they'll be much stronger plants. Couple more over here. All right, that's not too bad. Oh, that smells good. Put that right there for now. All right, now the soil in here is quite wet, so I'm not going to add any water at this point. What I've been doing, I've been keeping a closer eye on them, and I'll give them a little bit of spray every day or so as they need it. I don't want them to get too wet because that will only cause the roots to rot. So we'll see. I've got one there that's still a little bit weak, but I think the rest of them are going to be good there now. We'll get this one covered up, put back under the lights, and we'll get a fresh tray out and start some more. Okay, we have a nice new tray here. These are Jiffy trays. I wasn't able to find these exact ones on the internet, but I did find something very similar. I've got a link down below for that if you want to check it out. So we're going to get some worm castings in here, and then the rest of these seeds which have sprouted, we'll get those planted here. Alright, so we're just going to give these guys a good soaking. This looks a little bit bubbly. That's because I do have some stuff in there to help to keep the algae from growing. There we go. We'll put those in like that and see how they do. So just as we did with the first onion seeds, these here, we're placing them on a paper towel. We're going to dampen that down and put them right into, we'll get rid of this mess over here. We'll put them right into that Ziploc bag again. These few here, they're obviously not going to come. That'll go in here, and then that will go back under the lights, and in a few days, we'll see that these here are germinated, and we'll be ready to go again and continue filling that second tray. Now I'm just looking at these seeds that we have here. We have them laid out exactly the same way we did the first lettuce seeds. I don't see anything sprouting there yet. So I'm going to put those back in the bag and back under the lights. And we'll give them another few days and then see what we have in lettuce. So unfortunately, this is the result of our first lettuce. Like I said, I just didn't get to tend to them enough, and they got a bit of algae on them. So we pretty much got those gone. I'm going to place these right here where they're underneath those lights. Now those lights, by the way, I find these to be really good. This is the 2-foot model, but I know you can get them in 1 foot and 4 foot. But I find those really good. Some of the lights that I've bought, they don't work so well. Even though they're bright, they don't seem to do the job. These and my larger ones do the job quite well, I find. So I'll put a link for those down below as well. If you're looking for some lights, they may do you. Now, up here on my top shelf under my 4-foot lights, we can see the onions are doing very nicely there. And of course this is the the last ones we did. So what I'm going to do, I've got these over top of my heating mat. I'm going to turn on that mat for tonight just to warm up the soil. And probably tomorrow I will turn that off again. That helps to give it a nice moist area so you get the water droplets forming like this. It's just like they're in the greenhouse. Now that we have our seeds taken care of, let's take a look at what we have down here. So we're in the basement. Sorry about the noise there from the furnace. And our potato plants are coming up beautifully. So this one back here was the first one to start up. It hasn't grown much bigger since. This one is starting to pick it up. This guy here, and this one here is really doing well. Now this is the one that, this shoot right here is totally new, and it's coming from an eye that really didn't have many roots that were, I don't think there were any roots from that eye that were gone down to get nutrients. But if you can see it right down there, let me get another light here. Right down there, there was another eye, and you can see all the roots that are gone down from that. Now once that eye got the nutrients, the other eye on top really picked up speed as well. And we can see there's a lot of tubers going out there. Let's have a quick look underneath. There we go. Now you can see the root system on these and the tubers. I can see now in the first one that had the potatoes forming right down on the end, the tubers on those are turning purple. So I'm guessing that those are some of the red potatoes I had there. Now the next thing I have to do, if you look at each of these, you can see that the light is shining down through. Because we now have potatoes forming, we have to stop that light. I'm going to put clay pellets in these, the same as we would with most other hydroponic things that we're growing. This is our clay pellets. We buy these by the bag. Amazon has them as well. I'll put a link down below for some that are very similar or just like these. You can see that these are worn a bit, and you can still see a little bit of calcium buildup on them, or mineral buildup, but they have been rinsed and washed down since their last use. So we're going to use these over again. This will probably be their 5th or 6th time being used. All right, simple enough. We're just going to take these and drop them down around the plants here. And their job will be to just block the light. There we go. One. Now this will be one of the last opportunities we're going to have to see these root systems from the top. We can see this one here has multiple eyes on them, and they're all producing a lot of root, which are all hitting downward. So by blocking the light, hopefully the darkness will help the roots to stay a little bit moister, as well as keep any forming tubers out of the light. I'll just drop some of these down here like this. There we go. So there we have it. We have our potatoes growing very nicely. This is a real fun experiment, I must say. Growing potatoes without soil in my basement in the middle of the winter. It's -10 outside and we're growing potatoes. That's fun. So anyway, that's what's going on. We're getting our onions going. We've got 72 plus another dozen in the other tray. We've got a new sun our new onion seeds. They're in the paper towel now to be germinated. We are germinating some more lettuce seed. That's probably going to go in our lettuce tower. We're going to talk a little bit more about that down the road. And we have our potatoes, and they're doing great. So we're having fun in the middle of the winter, still gardening, not going to give it up. Anyway, guys, you guys take care, and we'll see you next time.